Well, good afternoon, YouTube. Arizona RE here. And what am I doing today? Well, honestly, I'm trying to find a place to launch my drone. That's right. We got snow melt. The mountains are covered in snow. As you can see off in the distance there. Off in the distance up ahead, you can see the Rincon Mountains covered in snow. And what happens when the mountains around here are covered in snow? The dry rivers start running. So what happens is all of our dry riverbeds, they end up flowing again. So it's kind of a rarity in the desert to see flowing water. So I kind of want to go capture it. It seems like a good reason to launch the drone and go have a look at it. But the issue is being a responsible drone enthusiast, right? So part of the FAA training, if you will, you know, for just drone enthusiasts, not the Part 107 certification that you have to get if you want to do this drone photography commercially. And that is, you know, you have to agree to a few stipulations with your drone. If it weighs half a pound or more, it has to be registered. And I've got my FAA tail number, if you will, displayed on the side of the drone. And you have to agree to a few stipulations. One of them is you don't fly within 5 miles of an airport. Now, that's a no-brainer, right? You don't want to get sucked into the engine of some aircraft and cause some injuries or deaths, or God forbid, you know, a plane come down because of you. I mean, yeah, that one's a no-brainer. That you fly below 400 feet. Now, most people don't realize these drones can actually do better than that. I have geofencing turned on mine, so it inhibits a lot. It keeps you from flying into areas you're not supposed to fly into for the most part. But, you know, there are still people out there who will break that. And then the other thing you're supposed to do is respect people's private properties. You're not going to fly over people's heads. You're not going to fly over people's property. So I'm trying to do that, and over the river seems like a good public area that you can fly over. But there are other considerations. One of those considerations is that if you're going to fly, you need to be mindful of things that can cause a disturbance for you. For example, cell phone towers and things like that. If you're going to be running this where a cell phone tower will cause interference, you could lose control of your drone. Or you see these high wires right here, these high power wires right here. Those things can cause an interference. So one of the important reasons why you always want to stay line of sight with your drone, so you can see if it's behaving correctly and you can recall it if necessary. So trying to be responsible and trying to get some cool shots. Let's have a look and see what we can get from here. So there you go. And as you can see when you look at it from overhead, it's not much to see as far as the river goes, right? It just looks like a runoff, which it is essentially. Throughout most of Tucson, all of our gutters and streams and everything dump into those dry riverbeds as a way of controlling the water buildup on the surface streets. But because it's dry most years round, there's bicycle paths and pedestrian paths to go around it for those who want to exercise or explore. But you see how wide it is, and even now, after days and days of continuous rain, or rain that was on and off, and then contributing from the runoff from the mountains, it still wasn't running bank to bank. And that should give you an idea of how much water comes down during a monsoon, because during the monsoons, that thing will be running bank to bank, and it'll be nearly up at the top. It's actually quite fearsome to see. But you guys have to stick around, because I've got a video about those monsoons coming up soon, and I think you'll be quite intrigued for those of you that have never been exposed to it or never seen it for your own selves, to understand just how crazy water is and how volatile it is when you put it in the desert. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you soon.